Lacey. Good morning. Welcome to the market forecast. Lacey decided she needed a little love already here this morning. It is Friday, May the 28th. I'm John Hoagland. Thank you, Lacey. Love you. And John Hoagland, thanks for trusting me with your time. Friday, May the 28th. Just got attacked by a 80-pound German Shepherd. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. It's Memorial Day weekend this weekend. We've got a 3-day weekend. Markets are, for all intents and purposes, closed on Sunday night into Monday. They are open, but I'm suggesting and even implying you should take Monday off. Of course, take a little time away. Remember those that have fallen. And do something that would please them. Do something nice. Do something nice for yourself. Do something nice for others. Live the life. Live the freedom that they have provided for us by placing the ultimate sacrifice on the altar of freedom that we all enjoy. We enjoy free markets. We enjoy free lives. Remember the fallen on Monday, but make it worth it. Have a good day. As far as economic numbers this morning, the trade balance came out. PCE, personal income and outlays, retail and wholesale inventories already out. Now, is there inflationary information in there? Just going to kind of go and kind of look at what came out here this morning. Personal income came out a little bit lower than they were expecting. Goods trade balance minus 85.23 billion. A little bit of a revision for the worse from the last release. Not seeing anything that's really sticking out to me, but we don't know what the markets are going to do when these things come out. So we've seen gold already cruise to the upside. We've got crude oil at prices we haven't seen in 2 years. We're still waiting for the Chicago PMI, which is at 8:45 Central this morning, 9 o'clock, Michigan consumer sentiment. So as the markets digest the information already out, I'm kind of expecting a busy morning in the markets, and then I'm probably going to be seeing things just kind of fall off and roll into rotational trade as the day goes on, as everybody gets prepared, gets flattened up, gets evened up for the long weekend this weekend. As far as other news is concerned, the federal budget is due out today, totaling about $6 trillion. I just wonder how they're going to continue to spend our money, and money we haven't even made yet. U.S. stock indices are set to open higher as optimism grows over the strong employment numbers that came out yesterday. The crude prices, again, remain strong. Tuesday, there is an OPEC Plus meeting. They're going to be discussing the possibility of some sanctions being removed from Iran and Iran being able to get back into the world crude oil market. That's suspected to add another 1 million barrels of crude to the world market. So we've got some conflicting information. We don't know what's going to happen with that. And so far, higher crude pricing is being priced in. So it's not likely at this time for that to happen. It is Memorial Day weekend, 3-day weekend, abbreviated hours. Take Monday off, of course. And don't forget to remember the fallen. As always, please make sure you hit the like button. Share, comment, question, feedback, and heckling are always appreciated, even sometimes graded. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get notifications when we do go live. A brief look a few moments ago at the VIX, the Dixie, and the 10-year yield. VIX down a little bit this morning, down at 1669 last I checked. Dollar index is a little higher, back above that 90 level, 90.39, and the 10-year yield a little bit of an uptick, not much, and we're talking about hundreds of tenths of a percent, up at 161. We are looking at, some opportunities early this morning. Nothing I was able to check. I was being patient, waiting for the numbers to come out. So a couple of things got away from me this morning. Hopefully you were able to catch them. If not, there's more opportunity coming. Lacey, what are you doing? Don't be a goof. All right. Geez. She's got to be right on me here this morning. So again, we're going to start looking at the markets here. We've got the crude oil 10, the daily chart up here. So we're going to start with that. As always, I do like to say good morning to everybody. Theo, good morning. First one in the room. You win the prize. Steve, Rick, my brother. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Brian, Vince, good morning. Trading Research, Subconscious, Murph. Murph started his long weekend already. That's a good thing. Why not? All right, we can do that. Tone, the chef is in the room. Greg, Lemur. Tim G. Colin, good morning. The official kickoff to summer. Yes, Memorial Day weekend. It doesn't feel much like summer here in Chicago, I can tell you. It seems like it's about 45 degrees out there this morning. I was freezing my little tootsies off when I took Lacey out this morning. Good morning, Murph. Good morning, Richie. Good morning, Jay Gilmo. JD, good to see you this morning. Oliver Francis, missed you last night there, JD. Jason, Murph. After the big move at the opening on Monday in the Nasdaq, it's been a channel all week. Just nothing going on there. It's a little probably about right, Murph. It's noticing opportunities at the extremes where we're going to find our opportunities. And that Nasdaq, boy, has really, for 4 days straight, has been pushing up against that weekly kickoff high. My question is, when are we going to exhaust those sellers, or are we? We're going to see that in the charts here shortly. Shady Trader, good morning. Felix, the infamous Escobar. Brad, Andres, Market Stalkers. Hey, good morning, D. It's good to see you. James, it's Casual Friday here on the Market Forecast. I've got my Top Step hat on. Lacey, stop eating the plants. Jeez. I saw that Starlink train in the sky last night here in Alabama. Don't know what it was. Thought the world was ending. Well, I hope that is not the case. I've got the link for next Wednesday's group coaching session. Again, my apologies for not being there for it this week, but I have all intentions on being there for everybody on Wednesday. So get signed up. Always one of my favorite parts of the week when I get to sit and chat trading with traders. What else? It's a crazy dog. So, yeah, well, there's the link. Register. We'll be there on Wednesday. And looking forward to seeing all of you there. Okay, without further ado, let's stop monkeying around here and get into the charts. Here's the daily in crude. Again, we haven't seen these levels since, I think it was April of 2019. We are above last week's high. Okay, we started off the week kind of breaking out above the weekly kickoff high, and then last week's high was pretty much our next target. I'll be formulating next week's weekly kickoff levels after the close today. Still good, strong, short time frame upside momentum. The volume is off a little bit yesterday. We did manage to add 11,000 in open interest on an up move. So there's still money coming into the long side in this market. It is... again, seen at levels here we haven't seen in 2 years, with lots of information due out next week. I'm going to be a little cautionary. We've opened up with a gap here. We're going to take a look at that shortly. As a matter of fact, let's look now. All right, so... pretty decent up move. Additional open interest yesterday, settling on the highs. Settlement 66.85. The market kind of looking at last week's high, opening above it, opening with a gap, looking like maybe we've left the opening range to low of the session. Not going to try and fight this move without some sort of structure with which to lean on. Not much of an attempt to close the gap this morning. So when we can't close the gap, that keeps us in the idea that that price is being accepted at higher levels, and we want to try and buy weakness into these moves to the upside. Where is the move going to terminate? Nobody knows. I'm not going to fight this until I find some sort of structure with which to lean on. And that structure may come as simply as the inability of price to remain above these whole moving averages, the 9 and the 13. Both of them heading higher. No reason to be looking for shorts at this time. So I'm going to be patient here, even though we've opened out of balance and out of range, looking for just the right opportunity. Everything we do, everything I do, everything I think most successful traders do is think risk first. Where is this market going to prove me wrong if I'm shorting, if I'm getting long? Where is that level? Trade as close to that level as possible. Don't have any great suggestions here for crude oil other than the fact that we've opened with a gap, and if we can't close that gap, last week's high might be supportive. Even a gap close may be supportive because we're still seeing decent volume and open interest coming in on the upside here. When that open interest starts to fall off as well as the volume, then we start to think, okay, this move to the upside is getting a little bit old. Maybe it's time to start looking for opportunities to sell strength. Not suggesting that that is today. Anything can happen, and this is a day before a long weekend, so we don't know what the short time frame traders are going to be looking at. Are they flat yet? Are they going to get flat? What about the hedging of longer time frame traders? That's really what the plan is before a long weekend. I know I'm not going to be holding any positions over the weekend where I can't get out should something happen. God forbid. Okay, E-mini S&Ps. Volume was pretty good yesterday. Not tremendous, but that's just what the S&Ps do on up days. They don't bring in huge volume. Open interest, we added an approximate 4,800 on this move to the upside. Last week's high has been supportive for the last 3 sessions, and now finally it looks like we're going to get our shot at weekly kickoff high, which is 42.20. Yeah, I'm still, the thing is, anything on Friday that's been directional, I'm always looking for the opportunity to take advantage of a long liquidation. If there's a lot of longs in the market before the weekend, sometimes they'll have a tendency to take some of those profits off the table. Not really seeing that, like Murph was saying, it's been pretty range bound for the better part. Now, this weekly kickoff high is going to be an opportunity for us to see an execution and be able to limit risk should we even get that opportunity. Obviously, short time frame still to the upside, higher highs, higher lows. And this weekly kickoff level might be in a kind of a neat spot to look for an opportunity for us today. The 30-minute chart. Come on. There we go. So you can see even in the S&Ps. I know Murph was talking about Nasdaq, but pretty range bound all week. We've got a really grinding day to the downside yesterday with some pretty impressive negative delta, unable to really push the market lower. The value high from the day before really ended up being supportive, and we had that big blast back to the upside after the 3 o'clock close that just ripped every short in a new face. Where do we open today? Well, are we going to open with a gap or aren't we? Is that going to be part of the equation? Do we have any long or short overnight inventory with which to use to our advantage this morning? And I'm going with largely no. Even with settlement all the way down here at 41.99 even, put that on your charts. The move to the upside has really just created an opportunity for consolidation. Consolidation also can be used to assume an evening of inventory in short time frame. So I'm not looking at an opportunity to look back towards settlement today. I'll be looking for evidence that the high from the range from yesterday, value high, is bringing support to a possible move for a true test of weekly kickoff high, which is a risk limiter. If we get up here and we can't accept above it, it gives us that opportunity to look for the short with our stop on the other side and a potential move back to the downside. Personally, I'm not expecting any huge moves without some sort of headline news. The markets have been grinding and evening up all week long. So I'm not going to be looking for any huge moves today. And that said, it's probably what's going to happen. So if we open with a gap and can't close the gap, I'll look for a test of weekly kickoff high up here at 42.20. If we open with the gap, or if we don't open with the gap, is going to be largely how I'm going to look at my early opportunities today. The opening range is always a possibility, particularly when we open out of range. It tends to have a little bit more of a higher probability. Didn't work that way for gold this morning, but we had information that was due out. Now here's to the Nasdaq. Here's Murph's Nasdaq. Look at this. Weekly kickoff high, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, which had an opportunity for an execution at that level, which has been showing rejection as resistance all week long. That weekly kickoff high, 13,722, 726. We got 4 points above it last night. Still unable to find acceptance. Still unable to bring volume or any momentum above that level. It remains as resistance. How long is this chart going to do this to me? Why is this doing this to me? All right. What the heck? Lacey, what did you do? It's got to be the dog. Blame the dog. Blame the dog. Okay. All right. Now we're back. How many times are we going to get up there before we exhaust all those sellers? It's compressing even. Okay, we're seeing higher lows and lower highs. There's something that's going to be happening here. I don't think it's going to be today, but we're going to see some pretty decent movement out of the Nasdaq in coming days. All righty, let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. Do we have some overnight longs? Well, I believe we did when we were up against weekly kickoff high. We've already reconciled, I would say, most of them. We're going to open back in range, back in value. That's going to suggest to me trying to stay patient as better trade locations may come as the day goes on. So we don't have any really overnight inventory to look for. We don't have a gap. We're in a 4-day range. I'm going to really stay patient in this market today. I don't really trade the Nasdaq, but if I did, I would be looking solely at weekly kickoff high for an opportunity and perhaps somewhere near these lows for an opportunity. Anywhere in the middle seems like a random walk to me. I don't see that there's any real directional activity until there's a change in market state, whether it's acceptance or rejection of weekly kickoff high, or whether it's rejection below these lows or acceptance below. So that's kind of got the Nasdaq a little bit on my off the radar list for the day. And I think we should all be, if we've had a good morning, I think we should take that, and we should go enjoy our weekend. Gold, upside structure remains. It looks like we're starting to form a little bit of a bull flag here. A bull flag is a contrary move, smaller ranges. We just, coming through rollover, so volume is going to be difficult to gauge. We added 1,500 yesterday in open interest. On okay volume, it looks like. But this bull flag, if we can take out and accept above this trend line, above our current high for the session, extended or regular trading hours, there's a good chance that this bull flag may prove to be just that, and we can press on to our next weekly kickoff high, which is right up here, 1932 approximately. Remember, all these levels are ranges, not finite numbers. Take a look at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. It's a tough morning. Okay, this is weekly kickoff high. Okay, in adjusted, it's 1884.50. We took a good look down there before the numbers came out. Settlement, we're right back to it. If we had overnight inventory, that's been now reconciled. We're back in range, back in value. If I did not catch this move to the upside, now I can, I think, relax a little bit, and I can look for opportunities as the day goes on. Last week's high is right here. Weekly kickoff high is right here. There's opportunities at those levels. Is there fish there? Well, we're going to have to wait and then throw our lure in there if we get the opportunity. But again, I'm really going to try and stay patient today. We've had what we would call a bull flag beginning. I'm going to put this right across the tops here, very loosely. So lower highs, lower lows, contrary to the bigger picture. We break out above this, there may be some legs for us. We do have a naked point of control above to look for an opportunity, and then that value area high above that. So again, I'm going to stay patient. Is this an opportunity right here? Is there fish here? There might be. We've got some confluence. We've got value high from yesterday. We've got settlement, and we've got a potential. Where would we put this? We could put this all the way down here because we've got some more points of contact right here. So is this a breakout of this? Well, is it going to be substantiated if we can hold above settlement and value high from yesterday? Very well could be. Again, I'm going to try and stay patient. If I've missed this move, something else will come to me. If I go looking for trades, believe me, I'm going to find them. And they're probably not going to be that good. On to the euro. Euro's had a little break in market state again here. We had a nice up move here. We broke that market state. We consolidated. We came back into the upside market state. I believe we're at risk of changing that market state again. I'm thinking that last week's low kind of lines up with a visual trend line here. If we can't hold last week's low, I think there's plenty of space for us to continue to move lower. Of course, this depends greatly on the value of the U.S. dollar and all of the other things that affect these markets. But again, last week's low, supportive so far. We did add 4,200 in open interest on a kind of a nothing day yesterday. But we've come off our weekly kickoff high. We've come off last week's high. We're at last week's low. Opportunity may be sitting here waiting for us. Take a look at the 30-minute chart. Settlement all the way up here, 122.02 and a half ticks. Put that on your charts. Are we holding some overnight shorts here? I would say so. Is the possibility that last week's session, what was this? Session high, session low? I can't even remember anymore. Session low, here's the high. Last week's low, is it going to be supportive? We've got the 9-session Hull moving average holding below price. If we consolidate here a little bit and we can see those moving averages perhaps start heading in the opposite direction, we may see a decent pullback off of this low. We may see an inventory adjustment occur at some point in the session today. Again, I'm looking for any real opportunities, any bigger opportunities to occur in the first half of the trading session today. After noon, I think things should settle down very nicely for a nice long weekend. And for the 10-year, okay, gentle upside structure largely remains. Last week's high, resistant, support, back down through it, now resistant again. Is this a very important level, very important number? Not necessarily, but they do tend to create opportunities at those levels. Thinking last week's high is going to be somewhat pivotal today. If we accept above it, there may be some opportunity for the longs. If we can't accept above it, there may be some opportunity for the shorts. Is this really high on my radar right now? No, not necessarily. Just coming out of rollover, losing 37,000 in open interest on this move to the downside. A little bit of interest coming out of the opportunities in this market, and looking at what we've got. We have the gap, which we never closed yesterday. This was weekly kickoff high, acceptance, rejection, now acceptance back down below it. We're in range, we're in value. We have, small ranges here. Our overnight, or I guess our regular trading hour session high, almost equal with yesterday's high of the session. Just not a lot of things going on here. Not a lot of opportunity. So not on my radar, at least for now, unless something changes. Okay. Hey, you're back. Dog's back over here. I think she enjoys listening to me yammer. And I saw a couple of questions here. Jay Gilmo, I saw those. Oh, no, that was before. Tick stream, same as time and sales. Tick stream is just basically telling you how many contracts have traded on each trade, what side of the market, whether it happened on the bid or the offer, and keeping a kind of an accumulation of what happens how many contracts are traded each time there's a new last price. Is it same as time and sales? In large part, yes. How did you get the weekly kickoff high level? I think Murph kind of answered that for me. Shady chart hecklers. Yeah, I do get some gremlins here once in a while on these charts. Murph was talking, it's a kind of a proprietary system. It uses market profile information, technical analysis, a little bit of math, a little bit of vision. And we put them out there, not necessarily for targets. Sometimes they are targeted. Sometimes they are good opportunities for executions, but they're more of a picture of where the things that I'm looking at are saying, okay, these are levels that longer, stronger, bigger participants in the marketplace are going to take notice and may need to or want to adjust their inventories. It's when the bigger players come into the market where we can go with them, but we certainly don't want to fight them. Patience, equanimity. That's it. Yes, patience, calm, humility, all of those things we look for to maintain as traders. And former Vice President Joe Biden. Thanks, so enjoy your weekend, everyone. I will do lots of sleep and try not to do anything. All right, I'm sure that is your plan, former Vice President Joe Biden. All right, again, thanks for joining me this morning. I do apologize. Yesterday, if you were looking for the market recap, we failed to get that out for you, and that was on me. Dan had something to do. He had asked me to do it. I didn't put it on my calendar. Something else happened, and I missed it. So I apologize. We won't do that again. On that note, stay humble, grateful, and creative in your trading today. Make a little bit of money. Start your weekend early. Take Monday off. I won't be here on Monday. We'll see you Tuesday morning for the market forecast. God bless us. God bless the United States. Don't forget to keep those that have fallen for our freedoms in mind on Monday, and be good to each other. Pray for world peace, and have a great weekend. Have a great trading day, and I'll see you Tuesday morning. Have a good one.